Howdy everyone! Hello and welcome on the Black Shadow. It is June 1st and this will be a hopefully fairly concise update video as there's plenty to discuss over the course of the next couple of months. Otherwise, of course, I'm always hoping you're all keeping as safe and best as you can in this world, which is gradually looking better and better as each passing day goes, but as still, please exercise caution. Anyways, we need to talk about Resident Evil Village, we need to talk about Twitch, we need to talk about upcoming series, podcasts. But before any of that, I want to show you something, and that is back here. Your humble Black Shadow decided he needed some new artwork, so I went over to Displate and went on bought a load of these things. They are very, very cool. There's a whole bunch of them down here that I went and bought. Obviously, lovely Claire Redfield here. There's some Resident Evil inspired ones, a couple of bits and pieces as well. As much as I obviously love the lightning picture I've had behind me, just figured I need a little bit of a something new, you know. I think I need like a stand though, because like I've always like just put it back here just for convenience, but it's not really that practical, is it? And especially like, you know, these are a touch smaller than like the picture that I had previously, so I need to get like a stand on the to-do list. Anyways, so Resident Evil Village. Game's been out for about 3 weeks or so now, and while I'm not going to sit here and talk about like my full thoughts on the game, the TLDR is that while I personally, it's not my favorite RE game that I've ever played, I do recognize that I think it's a pretty well put together game, very well constructed. There's a lot of cute things going on. There was some questionable at the time plot twist that went on, but having slipped on it a bit, I think I'm fairly happy with the majority of it. Even the ending, which was a little bit wacky, but hey, it's Resident Evil. It's been this way for 25 years. But of course, we haven't got very much left to do with Village. We did the hardcore run, blind. We're in the midst of doing the Village of Shadows run on vanilla, which of course I put up to you guys for a straw poll, and then instantly regretted the decision when I realised what you were going to make me do, but, well, that's my fault for letting you decide my fate, basically. But yeah, we haven't got very much left to do with Village anymore, and it'll be a shame to see the game go. So I've enjoyed it, but you know, newer, bigger, and greater things. It'll be interesting to see how Village stands up within a few months or so. Of course, we've still got like, you know, Resident Evil Reverse, for example, which isn't due out yet. It isn't out yet. It's not due out. I believe it's still down as yeah. Here we are. Yeah, summer 2021. It's still down as. And while I wish Capcom all the world with that game, I think it's going to be a bit of a tricky sell, to put things mildly, but alas. We have got a little bit of additional content to come with Village still that I haven't done, and that is with the Infinite Ammo Syndicate, which I've been doing podcasts with for a little while now. We just did one on Sunday, I believe it's up here, all about Parasite Eve and like horror RPGs, which was a lot of fun. Really much enjoyed doing that. We are down as well to do another one as well, on June the 13th, which I believe we're doing live about 6 p.m. Eastern time, all about Resident Evil Village. It's going to be a pretty interesting podcast. It could be a bit of a long one. There is so much to talk about between obviously Village itself and some of the plot twists that happened. Looking forward to like Resident Evil 9. You've obviously got Village, you know, like Reverse as well. There's all sorts of stuff to talk about with Resident Evil Village. So that'll be a long one, but it should be pretty damn good. Anyway, so something more concurrent is the current series going on the YouTube channel. Quick word for them as well. I have been doing a series on sort of a little bit ad hoc-y for Total War Shogun 2, which I've enjoyed doing. It's been pretty cool to play around with and experience and have some time with. We hopefully don't have the most long left to do with that. We're kind of already down Realm Divide, which is basically the entire world has declared on me and allied against me because they're like, yeah, you're kind of too strong. And it has been pretty brutal, but I think we're about to get over the hump, which will push us towards Kyoto and like the proper end game, basically. We've also been doing a series as well, I'm sure many of you are aware of at this point, with Alonzo Orion, which is Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11. This series is currently on hold at the moment. Alonzo has not been a particularly well man over the past few weeks or so, and as such, we've been kind of having to hold fire for the time being until he recovers. He's just not been well at all. I'm sure myself, along with I'm sure many here, will be wishing him speedy recovery. And as eager as I am to kind of continue the series, I do want to do so There's absolutely no rush at all. And I'm not going to even entertain it until he's sort of ready enough to do that. So once I know more, I will let you guys know more as well. So the question to be asked is, what's next on the YouTube channel then? Because, as I say, Village is pretty much done, and in fact, we've done a lot of Resident Evil previously. We just did the RE4 base handgun, which I did on Twitch, but it came over to YouTube anyways. The Outbreak Rifle raffle wasn't finished. It doesn't feel like all that long ago, and except that's going to be looking to restart and resume back in September. Resident Evil 5, I'm looking to return to as well in September on Twitch for a base handgun run for that, alongside someone else for me to pick who's going to join me in this cacophony of pain and misery. I don't envy them, but I've had a lot of volunteers, so that's to be worked out in the future. But I want to take a quick break from survival horror as far as the main channel is concerned. And I was looking back through other series that have been going on, stuff I've done, stuff I haven't done. And I came across a series that I haven't touched for a couple of years, and I always generally really enjoy doing. And one thing that I really like about them is it allows a lot of viewer interaction, which is something that is difficult to do on YouTube. It's one of the reasons why I do the streams on Twitch, because it allows me to kind of to interact with you guys much more on a live front. And while this isn't necessarily me talking to you at the same time, it's basically you guys are virtually playing this game for me. Yeah, I think it's about time. So, much like pretty much every XCOM run that I have done, none of the characters involved in the game belong to me. They are all viewer submitted. And what I do is, about a week or so before the actual series starts, I do a recruitment video, which is basically a video detailing the character creation process, and it allows you guys to basically send me submissions of characters that you'd like to see in the series. I'll post in the description below a example for like XCOM 2, which is the last one that we did. And there's usually a lot of competition for places. It says there is no limit on the amount of people that can enter, and it's not first come, first served either as such. The way I do it is I kind of divvy everyone up into various pools, and then as we get characters spawned into the game, I randomly choose who it's going to be, sort of dependent on who's what and everything else, and character classes, that sort of thing. I don't have any precise start date for when this series is going to be, but as I say, in a couple of weeks or so, want to get this underway. And it should be pretty good, should be really enjoyable. It should also be pretty damn hard too. Those that were here for XCOM 2 will know that I challenged this game to kill me, and it very nearly did. I remember we did a straw poll about like a third of the way into the series, because things were looking hideous, and the majority of people said, "You're screwed, Shadow, you're going to lose this game," and we did win. Eventually, it was painful, but we did pull through and make the win. So yeah, I'll be putting a video up on the YouTube in the next week or so with some more details of War of the Chosen. But I'm very much looking forward to delving into this. It should be good entertainment, and as always, it's lovely to see you guys entering your creations and your weird and wacky characters that you send me. I've seen some crazy shit over the past few runs of this that I've done, so should be good. So, next up is the Twitch channel. It has been a little quiet over the past few weeks or so. This is mainly due to the fact that I've been focusing on Resident Evil Village, as well as an opportunity just to kind of take a bit of a break from it as well. I've been streaming pretty frequently for the past few months or so prior, and it's always good just to have a bit of a break. So I did go ahead and do that. But I'm looking to bring up the channel a bit more regularly, starting with this weekend. And due to the popularity of the base handgun run we had for Resident Evil 4, as well as the fact that it was damn well difficult, I wanted to do a different kind of condition run, but I didn't want to do RE5. I wanted to leave that until September. And after a bit of thought here and there and a couple of suggestions from folks around the Discord, I eventually made a decision. And so on Saturday, we are going to be doing very similar, a base handgun run only run of Resident Evil Dead Aim. This is a game that I have not touched on the YouTube channel for, I think, about 4 years it's been nearly. This is a very niche game in the Resident Evil series. If you haven't seen it, I definitely do recommend going, obviously, to check out my series that I did on this. But it's weird, it's wacky, it doesn't make the most sense, and the actual main antagonist is a very, very strange cat, to put things mildly, but it's good entertainment. It's also a game that I basically don't remember at all, so I might have to watch my own series back from what the hell I'm doing, because I don't know how easy or difficult doing a base hanger on this should be, but it should be a laugh regardless, and a nice way to kind of chat with folks about all sorts of bits and pieces. So it should be good. Whether you've seen it or not, whether you haven't seen it or not, it will be very entertaining. I am also looking to resurrect as well and bring back doing sort of like a more community-based Sunday streams. Several of the folks that I generally been doing these streams with have just not been available for a few weeks or so as well, so haven't really been too worried about it. But I do want to make some returns for it. Skullduggery, I've been doing streams with for a while. She's been busy moving interstate. As such, she's been, fairly occupied and not particularly available for streams. So yeah, there's that going on and other bits and pieces. But yeah, and not even getting stuff like with Pete and Jen maybe as well. We'll see how things go. It's all a bit ad hoc, the Sunday stuff, kind of taking games as we go, suggestions, whatever else. Because ultimately it's not just me playing them, it's everyone else getting involved as well. So watch this space for details, I guess. There is one last thing to mention about, which relates quite well into the streams, and that is, I haven't talked about it for a couple of updates now, and that is Back 4 Blood, which is the so-called Left 4 Dead 3, that I believe was originally due to be coming out within like 3 weeks or so, but they pushed it back to October 12th, which I said at the time they made the decision was very wise on a number of levels. There is due to be an open beta of this game released some point over the course of the summer, and I'll be keeping my eyes on it. I still haven't bought this game yet, although I suspect I probably will in some form or another. But I've talked plenty about my thoughts on the game. The alpha, which was, it wasn't too bad. There was some cute ideas and stuff going on. So it'll be interesting to see what will come out with the beta. There have been a few trailers and such coming out pretty recently for Back 4 Blood as well, giving some more context on the game, the enemies you're going to be fighting, that sort of thing as well. A bit of plot stuff going on as well. So my guess is that it will not be very long until we get a date for the beta and then the beta being out. I will be streaming this, of course. I'll be giving it a very, very thorough test through because there is scope for this to be a really enjoyable game, but there's equally scope for this to be a flop. It's quite a narrow line in between, and I don't want this to... I want this to do really well and to be really enjoyable, so fingers crossed on that. So, with that all being done, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm sure there's going to be bits and pieces that I've forgotten about. As always, you can ask me anything you want in the comment section below. You can contact me as well, as always, in various ways. You've got the Twitter sphere at BlackShadow993, where, again, you've got lists for all the uploads when they come up, various bits and pieces on networking, suggestions I've given to lovely people of ways that they can look to spend their money, and then... it's a long story. You can also, as well, if you wish to assist the channel a little bit more directly, I do also have a Patreon for the channel at patreon.com/BlackShadow993. And, of course, as I do talk about plenty, but probably not enough, we do as well have a channel Discord as well, which is getting bigger by the day. And it's always nice to have people around, to chat with, interact with, everything else. There's all sorts of bits and pieces. The guide as well, as I always say about, for Resident Evil Outbreak Online. I still get asked questions, like, pretty much to this day from people asking about how to set up the game. And it's really nice that so many people have actually used the setup video that I made for the game as well. And it won't be long until I have to use it myself, because the game is currently uninstalled, and I need to get this sorted out for September. So there's plenty going on over there. The usual stream alerts for myself and associates, and all sorts of bits and pieces, of course. Yeah. I don't even need to type in today. Like, you can just look at some of these things that are coming up, and it's just like... People are enabled by this. People think that posting these images is a good idea. Why? I don't know. That is how I feel every time I see there's a post on this thread. I'm just like, what now? So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. You take care of yourselves, and yeah, hopefully by next time and next stream, I've got like a stand or something for these displays because there's some really. I'll show you one more. I've got another one actually here, which I got for Resident Evil 5. This one's still in its plastic covering here, but as a treat for being here this long, I'll show you something as well. This is one for the Resident Evil 5 for Jill here, which I think is really cool. I know you can't see it too well, but it's got like a mix of her actual design and then, you know, bad Jill, which we always forget about, like the whole Wesker thing. It's going to be wacky doing this series on stream. I'm looking forward to that. It should be a great laugh. Anyways, take care, everyone. And yeah, I will see you soon. If not for the end of Village, then very hopefully for XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. It is going to beat my ass. See you then.